Now, Cicero wrote a piece on translation called The Best Kind of Orator. And it may sound to you like it doesn't have much to do with translation from the title, but I'll explain. So he writes about the best kind of speaker, and by the way, this essay is available at Read Library. I've left all the details in the slides. Because he starts thinking about translation from this point of view, the point of view of an orator, as he was, we know that he was an orator. So according to Cicero, it's well known in Rome that there are different types of orator as there are of speakers and poets and so on. He does not agree. There are not many types of speakers. There are not many types of poets. According to him, there are just good and bad orators, good and bad speakers. And according to him, the best speaker, the supreme orator, is the one whose speech instructs, delights, and moves the minds of his audience. According to Cicero, we should be able, as speakers, to manage what he calls good Latin. Okay, so to be able to use words that are both proper and figurative. And he gives us a list of features, characteristics that an orator's text should have, no matter what. Okay, and as a consequence, the translation of an orator should be like this. It should be bright, it should be witty, it should be weighty, it should be impressive, it should have rhythm, and it should have smoothness. The orator who's supreme in all of these departments will be the most perfect orator. So if an orator has translated a Greek speech, so if a speaker wants to translate a Greek speech, according to Cicero, these features should be there no matter what. No matter what the original is like, according to Cicero, these are the features that we need there. I'd like to hear your opinion and your view on this, now that you're starting a course in translation studies. Now, then Cicero goes into his meditations on translation. And he says, I have translated the most famous speakers from Greece, but I didn't translate them as an interpreter, as we've seen, but as an orator, keeping the same ideas and forms, the figures of the thought, but in a language which confirms to the Roman usage. And by doing so, I did not hold it necessary to render word for word, but I preserved the general style and force of the language. Okay, let's meditate. So, this is why Cicero writes about orators, because he starts his meditations by talking about speakers. What he translates are speeches from Greece. How does he translate these speeches? He doesn't translate them as a translator would. He translates them as a speaker in Rome. And he uses the same ideas and forms that were in the original, but he uses a language that confirms to the language spoken in Rome, so Latin. And he doesn't think it's necessary to translate word for word, doesn't think that you should translate literally, but you should translate, and I love how he defines this, the general style and force of the language, the power behind it. Beautiful, isn't it? I'd love to hear what you think about this. Okay.